What's up, y'all? So me and my fellow e-bike connoisseur brother Tayo.
What up, YouTube?
We were sent a step-through bike to review that is advertised to be the safest e-bike on the market. And they're really trying to drive that point home because you see this big old UL certified sticker on the box. Most e-bikes are TUF certified, which means they don't go through as many tests as this e-bike. So yeah, when it comes to safety, this is supposed to be way up there. Also supposed to be one of the most comfortable e-bikes on the market. So to help us test that out, we're going to include our also precious e-bike model that's usually on all of our e-bike videos.
Queen of heroes and stuff.
The queen of heroes and stuff.
I like.
And so this is our second Velotric bike, and she can attest to the comfort of the first Velotric bike that we got, which you loved, right?
And you didn't let me have it.
I did like. So why did you like the first Velotric that we received? Why did you like that bike so much?
It was very sturdy. I felt safe. I felt like it handled curves well. I felt like it handled off-road well.
But she's gonna help us maybe test out the comfort and the safety of this bike as well. So the bike that we received this time is a Velotric Discover 2 step-through e-bike, advertised to go 75 miles a charge with a 48 volt 14.7 amp hour battery. Not sure how they got a battery with that amp hour, which is kind of small to go up to 75 miles a charge. So we're going to make sure we test out the range of this e-bike. This bike has a 750 watt motor with an 1100 watt peak, advertised to go up to 28 miles per hour. This bike is waterproof. They say that the battery is so waterproof that you can put it in a washing machine. And after that, you can take the battery out and actually put it on a bike and it'll still work.
That's cap.
We're not going to test it out like that, but when it comes to being waterproof, the battery is IPX7 and the bike is IPX6. Have no idea what that means. We're gonna have to look it up. But if they focus on a bike being waterproof regarding the battery, that's a huge plus. I have had an e-bike before where the battery was exposed to rain and it completely ruined the battery. I couldn't use the bike no more. This bike also has the ability for you to change the sensor. So you can go from a cadence sensor to a torque sensor on this e-bike. It says the bike weighs 63 pounds. The maximum weight of the rider is 440 pounds. I think the reason this bike is focused on safety and comfort so much is because the owner of this company
is a woman.
Was previously the owner of a company called Lime, who focused on bikes. So the owner is somebody who really had a lot of years of experience creating bicycles for people. This bike is also compatible with Apple Find My, as well as the Apple Fitness app. To purchase this e-bike, feel free to use my link and my code in the description below to get a discount. Also, I am doing an e-bike giveaway. If you want to be included in this giveaway, you have to be subscribed to the channel and comment below on what type of e-bike you would like. So what we're going to do is we're going to unbox this, put it together, go through all of the features, test out the speed, battery life, all that cool stuff. Yeah. Alright, so those are commuter tires. Those are not off-road fat tires. What you think? So this is what the bike looks like fresh out the box. Looked like it was wrapped pretty decently. I don't think anything would be damaged. So this is what the bike looks like without the wrapping. It doesn't look like anything was damaged. It looks like we're going to have to definitely put the handlebar on, which is already attached via wires. We're also going to have to install our front tire. And this is a 27.5 2.4 Kenda commuter tire. Before we put our front wheel on, let's go ahead and see what in this box. Like we got 3 boxes within the box. We have our charger, our 48 volt 14.7 amp hour battery. We have another box with our accessories in it. Let's see what's in there. Is that our display? Looks like we're going to have to install our display. Okay, we have reflectors in here. We don't have a headlight and rear light. Looks like we also got a particular looking headlight. I don't think I've ever had a headlight quite like that before. We have another box for manual and tools. Get a look at our owner's manual. I guess the instructions seem straightforward enough. I'd rather they use pictures though, but we'll see. Information about the 2-year warranty here. Part of the reason why the manual is so lengthy is because it includes the app setting. Take a look at what kind of tools we got here. All right, nice array of tools. Actually got hexagon wrenches that I can actually use. In the last box is our pedals. The pedals are labeled. First thing we're going to do is we're going to install this front wheel. So we got to bring this down and then kind of have somebody hold it in place because we got to put the axle in. After you put your axle in, you screw this back in this area here, and then on the other side of the axle you use your hexagon wrench to tighten it up. And as you turn it with the hexagon wrench on the other side, you'll see that piece start to match the end of the axle there. And we're not going to put this handlebar on super tight because this stem is adjustable. So you can rotate the angle of this handlebar stem. So we're going to just keep this a little loose in case we need to rotate it up. I think we should go ahead and cut this zip tie because we got some wires that go that way, some go that way on the bike, and we don't want the handlebar pulling one direction or the other. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to adjust the stem of this handlebar, which is a really great feature that I wish all e-bikes had, which is the ability to change the angle of your handlebar. You can accommodate different riding postures and different heights of riders. We're going to unscrew it here to loosen this up, and then we're going to figure out what angle we like regarding this handlebar. So to adjust the stem, we're going to have to unscrew not only this screw here, but there's a screw under the stem. We have to loosen that screw up as well. So we had to take the handlebar off. You have to make sure you get your angle of that hexagon wrench right so that you can unscrew that by turning it counterclockwise. So to help us do that, we had to take the handlebar off. So now we're going to go ahead and tighten up our handlebar stem angle there. Make sure that's on nice and securely. Also tighten up the handlebar stem on the side. So we got this bike put together, and we already took the bike for a bike ride. But this bike is pretty long for a commuter bike. From wheel to wheel, I would say it's like 5 feet 11 inches from wheel to wheel. The seat at its lowest point from the floor is 2 feet 5 inches, so the seat can go down pretty low and it can come up pretty high. We have a pretty long seat pole. The handlebar, which is more adjustable than most, where we have it now is like 3 feet 11 inches from the floor, and that's because this handlebar adjuster is pretty long, so it gives you a lot of range. I think this might be the best commuter style e-bike, the best looking commuter style e-bike that I reviewed on this channel. It doesn't even look like an e-bike to me. Let me know what y'all think, but definitely a good looking commuter style e-bike. These Kinder tires, which I normally don't like because they're usually a little slick, but not with these Kinder tires. They have these little grips on them, which is kind of interesting for commuter style tires. They're usually way more slick than this, so I think they have a nice amount of grip to them for commuter style tires. Nice wide handlebar, especially for a commuter bike. A handlebar is about 2 feet 4 inches wide. Look like we have some ergonomic, kind of hard rubbery grips here. We have a more trigger style 8 gear shifter. We usually don't have a commuter style e-bike that has adjustable suspension because I think there's some you're going to mainly be on flat surfaces, but I like having adjustable suspension on commuter bikes just in case you might want to go in grass, or maybe there's a lot of cracks on the road that you're on. So you can adjust your front suspension here. Right now we have it locked out. Let's say you are on that flat surface. So you want to open it up and you turn it this way. Give y'all an idea of the front suspension. Looks like you can also preload that front suspension. We do have a rear rack here. A rear rack like this, I would say, can hold maybe 30 to 50 pounds. Check out our rear and front 180 millimeter Textro disc brakes. Looks like we have a bell. Y'all think anybody gonna hear that? But we're not gonna go ahead and turn this bike on. First, get a look at our panel here. So there's a button at the top and at the bottom. You're gonna press and hold this button at the top to turn my colorful display on. Now if you press and hold the plus button, that turns our small but really bright headlight on and our rear light on. And that rear light is also a brake light. Looks like we also have turning signals. So if I click this button here, that turns my turning signal on the back of the bike. I'm going to click it again and turn that turning signal off. Looks like we have a thumb throttle on the left for throttle only. Look at some of the basic information on our colorful display. Look like we have our battery life here in the upper left hand. We have our pedal assist mode here. And if you press plus and minus, you can switch your modes. Look like we have 5 different pedal assist modes. So we have pedal assist modes and we have these here. And if you click this button at the bottom of your panel, you will change this. And looks like that goes from trail to boost to eco. I'm assuming that's more like your takeoff speed, but we're going to try it out. Right now you see my trip mileage at the bottom and you see how long has the bike been on for. But if you click this M button on your panel, you will get more information on your display. So I'm clicking M and it looks like now I get my average speed, my calories. I don't think I've ever had that calculated on a display before. How can they calculate that? And my odometer, we have ridden the bike a little bit. So we do have a few advanced settings on this bike and they are pretty easy to navigate and to understand, which is good. So to go into your advanced setting, that M button that was on your panel, you're going to press and hold it. And then that goes into our advanced setting. You press plus and minus to go from one setting to the next. If you want to change a setting, then you quickly click the M button again. Press this button at the bottom of your panel to go back. And I'm not going to go through all of these, but I will go through some of them. At the top here, we have reset our trip mileage. So I'm going to click the M button to go into there. Click M again if I want to reset it. Our speed limit. So this is how fast we can go. I'm going to click the M button. And looks like you can change how fast this bike goes. Looks like the max speed is 28 miles per hour, so we're going to change it to that. We can change how bright our screen is. We can decide this auto power off after how many minutes. Auto light, if we want the light to automatically adjust to our setting. Cruise control, this is whether you want this bike to have cruise control or not. Set unit, that's if you want to change how you calculate your speed. We're going to keep it at miles per hour. So I'm not seeing pedal assist sensitivity, but what you can do is go to connect to app, download the Velotric app, click the M button there, and after you download the app, you scan that barcode from the app. Now that you're in the app, you go to bike settings. It looks like on this app, you can update your display from the app. So I had to do that in order to get this feature, which is sensor swap. So that means you can change this bike from a torque sensor, which means it's going to use how hard you pedal to kind of calculate how much speed to give you regarding assistance, or cadence sensor, which uses more what mode are you in and how fast are you going to determine how much speed it should give you. So we are about to try out the different pedal assist modes, starting with mode 1. And I'm going to do mode 1 in trail mode. That's in between eco and boost. So let's see what trail mode is like out the box. Alright, it felt like the pedal assist started right away, but it was very gradual. But you can feel the assistance. Alright. Let's go down a gear. Alright, pretty easy to pedal in mode 1, especially after I went down to gear 6. So mode 1 trail, 16 miles per hour, mode 1. So we're now going to go to mode 3. Let's try eco mode, mode 3. Let's see what the difference is between eco and boost on mode 3. So eco mode. Okay, much more gradual regarding my takeoff. Yeah, it looks like you're gonna have to pedal a little bit more to get the speed going. So eco is a more gradual start for sure. Mode 3, Eco. Okay, look like I got up to almost 19 miles per hour. So we're not gonna keep it at mode 3, but we're gonna go boost mode. So let's see how fast we go in mode 3. Whoa, Bella. Okay, yeah, pellets just started right away on that one. Kind of sent you flying a little bit. So yeah, I got up and looked like my maximum speed is higher too. Goodness. All right, 26 miles per hour, mode 3. Boost mode. So not only did it take off quicker, but I got to a higher miles per hour. So we'll try mode 5 later. So we have my niece and fellow e-bike owner. She just tried out this Velotric. So what are your thoughts?
Overall, this is a pretty good bike.
Pretty good bike, okay.
I want to take it home.
You want to take it home back to Chicago?
But it's a very smooth bike. Like, I felt so safe. I don't know, it was the gear shift for me. It just felt so still. Like,
Okay.
I didn't wobble as much.
No wobble, okay.
Versus the turning signal.
You like the turning signals?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
like, that's upgrade.
So on the scale from 1 to 10, what would you give this e-bike?
Like, I didn't want to be stereotypical and just say a 10. But I have no qualms or issues with it, so I gotta give it a 10.
It's a 10, oh, okay. All right, this bike better than the e-bike you got right now?
Oh, yeah.
So, Velotric Discover 2, what are your thoughts?
This is a really solid, smooth, and safe bike. I understand why they brag so much about safety because I felt really safe on this bike.
Okay.
Number one thing I like about this bike is the step through.
Mm-hmm.
The seat. This is another bike with a great seat.
Oh, okay.
I love the colors. One of my favorite colors.
Why that?
Ooh. Love the display. It's mostly like the beefy moped bikes that are good on the curves.
Yeah, like you can lean into your turns.
Yeah, this one, I hit a sharp curve and I was like, man, this does really, really well with any type of turn, any type of curve. Even the sharp turns, I felt very safe. I do wish it was a fat tire bike, guys. That's my preference. It's not only a safe bike, I feel like this would be good for beginners or for experienced e-bikers. Oh, and I like that the throttle is on the left side. Thank you, safety
Right,
first.
right. So you can do a lot of stuff with your right hand, huh?
Yes.
So what'd you get this bike on the scale from 1 to 10?
This is solid 9.
A 9. All right. Now I'm 5'11", 6 feet with shoes on. I would definitely say this bike is perfect for a guy my size. But I have the handlebar rotated all the way up to the top here. So I would definitely say it's perfect for a guy my size. Or if you're shorter than me, this bike will be perfect for you too, especially because it's a step through. Also, I will say this is probably one of the more comfortable commuter style e-bikes that I've used, if not the most comfortable one. Very, very smooth. You can tell they really focused on safety quite a bit with this bike. Turns feel very, very smooth. It's not very, very shaky for a commuter bike. And it's one of the few commuter bikes where I feel comfortable using without my hands on the handlebars. Like I feel like I can, for a commuter style e-bike, I normally can't do this, but I can definitely do that on this bike without having to guide it too much with my body either. So pretty smooth. I think it's probably the smoothest commuter style e-bike that I've used on this channel. But I don't like the seat. The seat to me is a bit firm and it's flat. And I think the pedal assist in torque mode. So I'm gonna stop here I'm in mode 3. I'm on trail. Torque mode on this bike is pretty perfect. You see the pedal assist started right away, and I'm in mode 3 again, but it didn't send me flying, and it's not super delayed either. Pretty perfect in torque mode, in my opinion. So I've now switched it to more of a cadence sensor. I don't like this one as much, and you're gonna see why here in a minute. I'm in the same mode and I'm still on trail mode. Okay, but with this cadence sensor, I can kind of ghost pedal a little bit. You see, I'm barely pedaling, and it's just trying to take me to a certain speed because of the mode that I'm in. It's not really taking into account how hard I pedal here. So, you know, you pick your poison, but I like the torque sensor. I'm going fast too, more than the cadence sensor. Now, I am not a huge fan of using commuter style e-bikes in the streets because it's a light bike, you don't have fat tires, and you don't have full suspension. So what that means, if you're going at a high speed and you hit a crack, your bike is probably gonna shake, you know what I mean? Hell, if an 18-wheeler passes you, the gust of wind might make your bike shake. So you don't want your bike shaking when you're on the street with cars, you know what I'm saying? Also, it does seem like cars respect moped style e-bike, full size, all-terrain e-bikes a little bit better. Now, I do think this bike is good going from the sidewalk to the streets, then back to the sidewalk, because it is very easy to maneuver. Like, it's a very light bike. It's compact enough, I guess. It's not as huge as like a full-size e-bike, but it's very, very easy to maneuver. So yeah, going from the street to the sidewalk and avoiding people and things, I definitely think you can do that on this bike. Yeah, you can get through some pretty narrow turns on this bike. I am not a fan of laning on commuter style tires because they're a little bit too narrow. I just don't think you have the surface area usually to lane on a commuter style e-bike. But these commuter style e-bikes are a little bit more grippy than normal. Like, I think it's because it has those little grips on them. I feel comfortable leaning on this bike, but you know, lane at your own leisure. I know this is not a off-road bike, but we do have suspension in the front, so I figured we open that suspension up and go through the grass, see what that's like. And yeah, you can definitely tell that you don't have a fat tire bike, and you can also tell that you don't have suspension in the rear. But for a commuter bike, the suspension in the front is decent. Yeah, it's decent enough for sure, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna absolutely kill you to go in the grass a little bit. So we're not gonna do max speed throttle only up a hill, and it looks like you get to your max speed throttle only regardless of what pedal assist mode you're in. We're gonna see how much speed we lose going up a hill. All right, looks like going into the hill, I'm at like 24 miles per hour, almost 24 miles per hour going up the hill now. And it's a hill and a turn, like a 35 degree hill, and it turns too. So let's see how much speed we lose doing both, going up the hill and turning a little bit. All right, looks like we're at 16, 15, 14. All right, so it looks like we lost about 10 miles per hour. We usually lose around 9. So I've used up quite a bit of my battery life, but I figured we try max speed throttle only anyway, and you do get to the max speed regardless of what mode you're in here. Let's see how fast we go in throttle only here on a 45% battery. All right, 26, 27, 28. All right, looks like 28 miles per hour max speed. So we have somewhat of a straightaway here. So I figured the great time to try out this max speed. But let's do max speed eco mode. Max speed eco. Let's see how fast we're going. Max speed eco mode. 20. 21. 22. Alright, 23. Alright. About 23 miles per hour, smoothly, gradually. So now let's try max speed. Boost mode. See how fast we go here. 21, 22, 26, 29. Oh, I look like about 29 miles per hour. So Velotric Discover 2 Commuter E-Bike. I think this is probably the smoothest commuter e-bike that I reviewed on this channel. I felt very, very safe when I was using this e-bike. It's very sturdy. It doesn't shake pretty much at all. I love the brakes, although I do wish you had that knob on your handlebar where you can adjust how tight your hydraulic brakes are. This is one of the few commuter bikes where I felt so comfortable where I could use this bike without my hands on the handlebar. Usually I can't do that with commuter bikes because the tires are a little bit more narrow. I love that they have an app that you can use to update the features on your bike. For example, I used the Velotric app to add a feature where I can change my sensor from a torque sensor to a cadence sensor. And that came from an app. So I hope they also include the ability to adjust your pedal assist sensitivity on that app too. But in torque sensor mode, the pedal assist on this bike was pretty much perfect for me. I love the speed. I was able to go up to like 28, 29 miles per hour, which is pretty good for a commuter style e-bike. I love the bells and whistles. You got a headlight, rear light, brake light, turning signals. You can charge your cell phone from your panel. I love that in addition to having 5 pedal assist modes, you also have an eco mode, a trail mode, and a boost mode, which kind of affects your takeoff speed and your max speed quite a bit. I love the fact that you can adjust the handlebar, which accommodates not only different heights of riders, but also different riding postures. The battery life to me was just okay. I went on a 10-mile bike ride. I spent like 3 of those miles going max speed, pedal assist, boost mode. For the most part, I was either in mode 3 boost or mode 4 trail. In that 10 miles, I lost like 30% of my battery. So to me, that's more like 50 miles a charge. So yeah, all in all, I think this is a great commuter style e-bike. I think this is a great e-bike for beginners. Also for people who are more concerned with safety regarding an e-bike. So on a scale from 1 to 10, I will give this bike a 9. Comment below what you would give this bike on a scale from 1 to 10. Any other e-bike you want me to review, also comment below. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.